Hey everybody, this is Jacob. Today is a movie review and we are doing the movie Shoot 'Em Up. And I got Tommy over there and this is me and well, I guess
this is
Tommy and Jacob's mixed up. God damn it, I fucked that up. Do it, just lead us in.
This is Tommy.
This is Jacob. This is Tommy and Jacob's mixtape. Hey everybody, that was a pop. That was maybe a little too loud coming in. How's everybody doing out there? I'm doing okay. I got some energy brewing. I got some energy brewing through me. I don't know why I keep saying brewing. What am I trying to say?
Brewing?
Brewing?
Maybe, I don't know.
I wanted to say droolings for some weird reason.
Ashton Kutcher is a twin too? I'm sorry, I'll stop.
Get off your... What is www.whohasatwin.com.
No, it's IMDb. They always have.
That sounds like actually probably a porn site.
Probably.
Yeah. So, how you doing, Tommy?
I'm good.
Yeah.
My voice cracked really hard right there. I'm good. I got a new phone. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
I stalked him, knowing that every move he made with it.
I got the Galaxy Flip. That's the new one of the new flip phones, and it's
being promoted by BTS.
Yeah, it's the official phone of BTS. I just saw that. It's funny. I just saw that commercial at
Yeah. All right, so like I said earlier, today's movie review. Today we are reviewing 2007's Shoot 'Em Up, which has a 6.6 rating on IMDb. Do you want to give us your synopsis?
An unlikely hero attempts to save woman and newborn from evil thugs. Unfortunately, he gets mother killed, but then now has to protect the baby.
The baby. The very weird looking baby, too. Well, it's a very young baby.
They're all pretty weird looking.
Alien baby.
Well, just like, too, this is like, the baby is like an actual newborn in the movie, which I appreciated.
Oh, did you read about that little piece of trivia as well? So apparently, they timed out this woman's pregnancy with the filming of the movie. Because she was giving twins or triplets.
Twins,
yeah. She was giving birth to twins, and child labor laws, like for stuff, it's like you got to like split
the time for kids. That's why a lot of kid stars were twins forever.
Yeah, exactly. So it's literally like the child was birthed and then thrown onto set.
Yeah, this is interesting. Well, it's just like nice when like they actually get like a newborn for a newborn because when they... That's
actually, I mean, no, I like that actually.
No, I did too. It's like when they get like an 8-month-old baby and they're like, here's your newborn. I'm like...
There's no way that child came out of her.
That's too big.
That child's got a heart problem.
Yeah. So it just like it just helps with the illusion.
So yeah, this came out, like I said, 2007. It was...
September 7th, weirdly.
Yeah, September 7th. Well, it was originally had a Comic-Con release. It was Comic-Con International type thing, and it was July 26th. Was like a month and a half before it was officially released, and it was actually had very positive reviews, or like people really liked it there at the Comic-Con. I mean, it's Comic-Con. Well received. Yeah. And then, it came out September 7th, 2007. Well, and then it wasn't as well received by
the general public. Yeah. Well, and also just so everyone knows, we are recording on the 8th.
Oh, yeah, we are.
That's why I thought it was interesting.
I didn't put that together.
Yeah. I was like, oh, it came out.
It came out yesterday.
This movie came out yesterday.
But yeah, so domestically, box office wise, it was 135. And then worldwide, it was 159. So it didn't. It like barely made its money back from what I read.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I was jotting down a note to talk to you about later. Yeah. I mean, because it domestically made about 12 million and some change, and then overseas about 14 million.
Yeah.
So it did a little bit better overseas.
Yeah.
Which I found kind of bizarre because this movie is so American.
It's very American.
I thought the American public, especially in 2007, would have been a little more, pew pew.
So to kind of give you like an idea of like 2007, because we haven't done a 2007 movie yet.
No, this is our first 2007.
So like top 5 movies worldwide box office was Pirates at World's End, Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, Spider-Man 3, Shrek the Third, and Transformers.
A lot of threes.
Yeah. Yeah, literally. And well, Order of the Phoenix, that's technically the fifth.
Or 5, yeah.
Yeah. Wait.
Right? Chamber.
Goblet of Fire is 4. Yeah, this is 5. I just watched these. But it's actually kind of interesting to really see, like...
What's the third one? Prisoner,
yeah. Like, difference between, for 2007 box office, like, in the domestic, Spider-Man 3 is at the top. As for, like...
Yeah, that makes sense, though.
Yeah, because American, much more, like, the superhero stuff and whatnot. But then, like, Pirates and Harry Potter drop down to 4th and 5th. Which also, I mean, it kind of makes sense, but I would actually kind of expected Harry Potter to be above Pirates.
Yeah, because even the second Pirates wasn't super well received.
Yeah.
That's when it started kind of getting a little wonky. Similar titles that I kind of was adding this, similar titles just so I thought would be fun would...
Oh, to shoot 'em up?
Yeah, and this is just my opinion. You can totally disagree. But I put Resident Evil Extinction, which I think is the fourth one?
Yeah. I guess the second one's just called Resident Evil 2, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, all those movies blend together so hard for me.
Is it Resident Evil Extinction, Apocalypse, Aftermath?
Well,
There's no Aftermath. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I know Extinction and Apocalypse. There's another weird... Yeah.
Alien vs. Predator, Requiem, Hitman, Hot Fuzz, and Smoking Aces all came out this year.
I can see Hot Fuzz. This movie is very much... I feel like, honestly, it's a very perfect... It's perfect to follow up from Last Action Hero. Because I feel like it's very much more in a Last Action Hero vein. Of, like, how meta it is. Because this movie is very much over the top for over the top reasons.
Yeah, this movie's
ridiculous.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous.
I love it. But yeah, so let's get into our writer, directors, and starring and whatnot. And then we can really start, and then reviews, and we can really start diving into the meat. So I was really happy. I was really, really happy to find out that it was just a writer and director, same person. I was like, oh man,
that's a weird thing. But once if y'all start doing this, you'll understand that. Yeah. If writer and director are the same person, you're like, oh, this is gonna be so much easier.
And then it's like, oh, but now I can have some fun research figuring out this guy's history.
Yeah, not 6 different people.
Yeah, because like, oh my god, it's like every time I see like 4 or like 3 or more screenwriters, I'm like, okay, who actually wrote this movie?
Well, then it's like you'll see the director, and then you'll see like the 2 writers, and then it will be a little link that says "show more," and you're like, "Fuck, how many more are we talking?"
Yeah. All right. So this was written and directed by Michael Davis, and this is actually kind of, in my opinion, a surprising movie for Michael Davis.
Yeah.
Because best known for in like what I don't know how many people really know these movies.
I knew one, and there's a couple I want to watch now.
And I just like the biggest ones that I put that he wrote and directed was 8 Days a Week, 100 Girls, 100 Women, and Monster Man. I'm assuming you want to watch Monster Man.
No, actually. Oh. I want to do Riding Shotgun.
Oh, is that one of them that he wrote or just directed?
I actually don't know. It was on. I think he just directed that one here.
Oh, it's the short video.
It's an animated.
Yeah. It's only 8 minutes long.
Yeah, I want to watch that. And then weirdly, I want to watch 100 Girls.
Okay, so that's the only one of his movies that I've seen.
How is it? It sounds funny.
It's really cheeky, immature. I want to say it's kind of immature. It's very over the top kind of humor in like the same sense of like Shoot 'Em Up is, but it's like over the top in like a romantic comedy type thing.
Yeah, and the premise of 100 Girls is a guy is in a sorority.
He's not in a sorority.
No, he's not.
No, actually, so the storyline is that he's trying to. There's like a girl that he's really interested in. He's trying to find a way to like get to know her and like whatnot, but he like becomes the maintenance guy for this sorority house.
Yeah, but doesn't he get trapped in like an elevator and has a conversation with someone who can't see her? Mm-hmm. So he has to go around and...
That's what it is. That's why he wants to get back into it. Yeah.
Yeah, and so he has to like interview these 100 girls to find the one that he's in love with. Yeah. I think it's kind of a cute idea.
I watched it. The first time I watched it was when I was in high school, and I was surprised by what the fuck I was watching. It was really interesting because it was very much like in my mind the type of humor that I was like, this is very much like what happens in my mind. Like, you know, like JD from Scrubs.
Yeah.
When like he has like an
I just restarted watching.
Yeah. Like the little flashes one. I'm like, wow, this is kind of like an example of like what my mind does when I'm just sitting there having conversations with people, and ridiculous situation that it's like I think would be really funny or fun to like quote unquote get into, you know. And I remember showing it to my friends in high school, and they're like, Jacob, this movie is hot garbage, and I'm like, I like it.
I'll definitely check it out. Monster Man, I'm surprised you said that because it
looks awful, but like I don't know, just seems.
I know, but I don't like scary movies like that.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
Monster Man is a horribly disfigured man.
So here's an interesting thing,
chases teenagers in a monster truck.
In IMDb, and I don't know why, and I was trying to do this. This has nothing to do with Shoot 'Em Up, by the way. We're just talking about Michael Davis now and movies that he's done.
Well, people know now about Michael Davis.
So Girl Fever on IMDb is promoted everywhere else as 100 Women I noticed that. And technically the sequel to 100 Girls.
Yeah.
And I'd never seen it. I've never heard of this before. And I was
like on all the posters it says 100 women, but the title on IMDb is Girl Fever.
And it has what's her name in it from How I Met Your Mother? She plays Zoe. Jennifer Morrison, that's right, is in it. And I was watching the trailer for that. Actually, I thought all of these, I'm like, I had to watch the trailers for. I'm like, what the fuck? Because so pretty much to Shoot 'Em Up. We'll get into this a little later, but like he wanted to like he has been sitting on the script since like the year 2000, pretty much. So he did 8 Days a Week in 1997, starring Kerry Russell. It's a romantic comedy. And then he wrote and directed 100 Girls in 2000, another romantic comedy. Did a follow-up, Girl Fever, in 2002, or 100 Women, a romantic comedy. And then shifts hard into weird monster horror. Like, it's almost like Jeepers Creepers.
But with a monster truck.
With a monster truck, yeah. Monster Man. And then 4 years later, Shoot 'Em Up comes out. And then after Shoot 'Em Up, then the Riding Shotgun's the only thing he has.
Yeah, I mean, he did Beanstalk, which the image looked familiar.
Yeah, so, well, before he did, like, his writing and directing, he just started as a writer for kids' movies. Mm-hmm. So, like, he was the writer for Prehistoria. Hysteria, thank you. Double Dragon, Pet Shop. Yeah, so, like, Beanstalk was the first one that he wrote and directed. And then I think for Prehistoria 3 and 2, I think those are just, like, oh, no, he wrote the screenplay for those, too. Interesting. But yeah, so really it's like he hasn't done anything since Shoot 'Em Up or Riding Shotgun.
So basically, if you've never heard of this guy, we haven't either.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen Double Dragon. Because like speaking of like we were talking about doing a video game movies, but that's kind of interesting. We'll talk about that later.
Should do that in Super Mario World.
Double Dragon and that. Well, then we got to do the Street Fighters and Mortal Kombat. All right,
that'd be fun.
Nostalgia.
A whole month.
Nostalgia ones. Yeah.
There you go.
Hey, everybody! Preview for what's coming up.
We're gonna be.
We don't know when,
but that will happen.
But it's coming at you.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, it does. All right, cool. So
and then we could do another set of the modern ones like Assassin's Creed and.
Yeah.
Cool.
All
right. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, we got excited, so we got distracted. I think we can move forward from Michael Davis now, and because like
we talked about him a lot longer than I thought we were going to be totally honest.
Well, we got caught into like the movies that he's done and whatnot. Because I want to save what we have about for this movie after our reviews and whatnot. So let's move into who the actors are in this, because there's really only 3.
I only did 3. I wasn't worried about anyone else.
No, I mean, even just kind of like the other random side characters, their roles were so minimal.
Their roles were there to die.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, pretty much. So to begin with, obviously, number 1, starring Clive Owen.
The sexy Clive Owen. I find that guy so sexy.
He's an attractive dude.
He's got that Carl Urban thing. He's like good at being like dirty.
Yeah.
And like, you're like, ugh.
But he's also really good at being clean as well.
No, totally. Yeah. Like, I mean, yeah.
Did you know that it was him and Daniel Craig that were like in talks for James Bond, and Daniel Craig.
There's a whole joke about.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll just say there's a joke in the movie where I can't remember, but he is using James Bond's gun, whatever, I can't remember what the model is, and
it jams.
And he calls it a piece of crap, and it's totally because the joke is because he wasn't picked for Bond.
Yeah.
And yada yada. Which I'm glad he wasn't. Honestly.
Yeah, I
feel like he'd have been too piercy.
Yeah, he would have been. Yeah, there would have been too much suaveness in a weird way.
Yeah, he'd have been too Pierce. He would have been that kind of Bond. I really like Craig as Bond.
Yeah, no, Craig brings a good like roughness to it
and a psycho thing to it. Yeah,
yeah.
But yeah, Clive Owen, King Arthur, Closer, Sin City, which is kind of like the same character now that I think about it. Children of Men, which I think is probably his.
Those are actually looking through his list. Those are pretty much like the only 5 movies that I could remember seeing him in.
Yeah, and this is one of those weird situations again where the guy is crazy famous, and I know, like you say, but I'm like, I actually haven't seen a lot of your shit.
Yeah,
weirdly enough, but you're super famous to me.
It's like I vaguely remember the remake of the Pink Panther movie with him in it, but that's like
with
vague.
Steve Martin. Is that
no, not Steve Martin. Yeah, wait, no, yeah, Steve Martin. Why am I thinking somebody else?
I don't know.
I know you said Steve Martin, and my brain went to Martin Short. It was Martin, you know.
Well, I mean, it also might be because they're in that new show together.
Well, they're like best friends.
Yeah, but they also have a new with Selena Gomez.
Oh,
she's in it. I guess then who's next?
I got Paul Giamatti next.
I just copied it from the list that they had.
Exactly. Paul Giamatti, who I kind of just put down like the movies that I'd seen him in mostly. Sideways, The Amazing Spider-Man 2 as Rhino, Man on the Moon, The Truman Show.
Holy shit, he's Rhino. I forgot about that.
Yeah, he was supposed to be Rhino.
For like 30 seconds. I forgot about that.
There is one movie that I really want to see out of his that I'm surprised I actually haven't seen, American Splendor. Where he plays like a famous like independent comic book artist person.
Oh yeah, I wanted to see that too. I remember
Harvey Peaker. I actually don't know how to pronounce it.
Who is he? Which ape is he in Planet of the Apes, the Tim Burton one?
Oh, I could not tell you. I don't remember that movie really.
I want to say he's the orangutan.
That sounds right.
Just because of what he looks like.
Yeah. 100%. We're not saying anything mean. We're just saying something that we saw.
And I want to do one shout out for Paul Giamatti too, for a movie that I really enjoy that I didn't think I would. Fred Claus. It is a Christmas.
Oh, I remember you telling me this. Yeah,
it's a Christmas movie, but he plays Santa Claus, which is such a weird role. But he has like a loser, burnout brother played by Vince Vaughn. And he comes to the North Pole, and it's very like slapsticky.
Oh my god, I have seen this.
And like it's really slapsticky, and it's like it's the family turmoil because he's not the famous brother.
I forgot that he was Santa Claus in that.
And it's actually pretty funny. And the whole idea is that Kevin Spacey's the bad guy, and he comes to audit the North Pole, and they have to like.
Oh my god,
it's really bizarre, but it's actually a pretty cute,
and
funny.
It's kind of like gotta pick me up at the end.
Yeah, like it's pretty funny, and like Vince Vaughn and Paul Giamatti have great brother chemistry.
Yeah,
like of bickering, they're really funny together.
Paul Giamatti's just a great actor.
Totally, yeah. But it's if you're looking for a Christmas movie this year and you haven't seen that, I would recommend that. It's pretty funny.
Apparently, so Michael Davis wanted Paul Giamatti for the villain in this because he wanted to have somebody that would play against type of like your regular villain.
Yeah, and he got inspiration from Sideways. Have you seen Sideways?
Oh yeah,
the lovable, likable guy, but that has a temper, and he was like, ooh. Okay, and then that's why Paul Giamatti got it.
Also, I mean, he's great in John Adams, but like if we want like really just a quick like pull back for nostalgia, he is the main villain in Big Fat Liar with Amanda Bynes and Frankie Muniz. What?
His name is Wolf.
Wolf, really?
Yeah. That's why his that was that song.
I don't think I've actually ever seen the movie.
What?
Yeah, I don't think I've actually ever seen it.
I watched it a couple years ago, like as an adult. That movie's still pretty funny.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cheeky, but it's funny.
I think I remember the previews more than anything because I just remember Paul Giamatti just dyed blue.
Yeah.
With the blue ink because they put ink in his pool or something.
Well, because it's like that's one of the so the whole idea is that Paul Giamatti is a producer, screenplay guy in Hollywood, and he steals Frankie Muniz's script and makes it his own.
Oh.
And is refusing to, and no one believes Frankie Muniz because he's a liar. The boy that cried wolf, and so they named him
I
Wolf.
see.
But that whole scene is great because what his morning ritual, he's a total prick in it. His morning ritual is he gets up and he's wearing like just a little underwear. And it's Paul Giamatti, and he's dad bod, big belly, and everything. But he plays hungry like a wolf. And he like dances around his house like without a shirt on. Everything's like jiggling around. He's like
hungry like the wolf.
He's like touching himself, and he thinks he's like really sexy, and he's just really gross.
So good.
And then he like jumps in the pool, and when he comes out, he's still doing his dance, but he's bright blue. Like it's a pretty.
He's
funny
a
movie.
great actor. The way that he commits to shit is so good.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Enough on.
I really like Paul Giamatti.
I did too.
And then Monica Bellucci. I think that's how it's pronounced. Like I was looking up.
Yeah, I think you are correct, Bellucci.
Yeah. Because a lot of people say Belushi.
Yeah,
it's like it's not John or Jim Belushi. It's like she's not related to those guys. She's an Italian actress.
A beautiful.
Yeah. She also she can speak English, obviously Italian, so she's Italian, and then French fluently.
Yeah, she did the dub for the subtitles
for this movie. Yeah,
not the subtitles, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, the dub. Oh, yeah.
But if you don't recognize her,
the main things that I really recognize her from are the Matrix sequels. I will say because she's not in the first Matrix.
She's the Frenchman's wife.
She's Persephone.
Persephone, that's her name.
And then the Brothers Grimm. She's like the evil witch.
She's the queen.
Yeah, she's stuck in the mirror. Like she's sucking. I forget exactly the story of it. But she's the beautiful witch, and then but she's actually hundreds years old, whatever, you know.
That movie's cool.
Yeah, it's fun.
We should do that one. She's also one of Dracula's wives.
Mm-hmm. One of the brides. She's one of the brides. Yeah.
Yeah. I think my favorite role of hers is the Queen
in Brothers Grimm.
Yeah, she just had the look.
Oh yeah,
like not only just naturally like for beautiful looks, but the costumes. She's wearing these beautiful red gowns with like gold inlays and has the crown.
Well, and she's got those full lips, you know, that like really just like you know, and she's also her eyes are very just like it's like she's got that classic beauty that's like very seduce you just with like a look that's like fits really well for like the evil like queen
for a vampire or like you know like she's I really like her. I wish she would be in more stuff, but.
I mean she's been in a lot of stuff, but she does a lot more international films
as opposed to like American stuff.
I mean she's done like she has like a good list of American stuff, but I think we both have the same list of kind of what we've recognized her from, but like she's in a lot of like French and Italian films. Like
she's in Twin Peaks. I gotta say that because
I've never watched Twin Peaks.
I know. You shouldn't have said that on there.
Yeah, I mean,
she's gonna send you a very angry text.
I know. It's fine.
But yeah, she's in Twin Peaks.
Yes.
Plug.
But yeah, so that I mean, it's short and sweet with like the.
Again, this is not. It's so crazy.
It's an easy one to do research on.
I know, but we've been like weirdly talking about them for a while. Okay.
I feel like we have time to talk about it. Let's get into our reviews.
Okay, cool. Okay. So I actually, since we had more time, I got 4.
Okay.
Pretty quick ones. Except for Roger Ebert's. His is always long. But it kind of goes good, bad, good, bad. Okay. So Ebert, Shoot 'Em Up is the most atrocious, implausible, cheerfully offensive, hyperactive action picture I've seen since Sin City, which in comparison was a chamber drama.
Man, you just really didn't get it.
And then I had to look up what a chamber drama was.
Oh.
And for people who don't know, a chamber drama is a method of adapting literary work to the stage using a maximal amount of the work's original text and minimal suggestive settings. I just didn't know what that meant.
Sin City.
Yeah, Sin City. Donna Stevens from Slate. Owen, Giamatti, and what did we decide?
Bellucci?
Not Bellucci.
Yeah, it's not Bellucci.
Bellucci. All fine actors at the peak of their hireability must have been coming off a collective coke bender when they agreed to be in this murky, straight-to-video looking piece of crud.
Jesus.
I like the coke bender. I just like imagining all 3 of them just let's do it. Ow, that hurt my nose. That made me tear up.
Maybe you should stop doing
Peter Travers from the Rolling Stone. This is a wet dream for action junkies. Leaves out logic and motivation. You know, all the boring stuff. And then just last one, Ruth Stein from the San Francisco Chronicle. Shoot 'em Up is not only the title of Hollywood's latest descent into nonsensical mayhem, but pretty much sums up the entire plot.
Man,
People didn't like this movie.
they really just it's like I don't think critics really knew what Michael Davis was trying to do. That's crazy. I mean, wow. All right. Well, I mean, how about a positive review from me?
I mean, Ebert's was not terrible.
What are you talking about? List those. What he described it again.
Implausible, cheerfully offensive, hyperactive action picture.
Okay.
Like that was very much like he knew what he was watching. Like he was like it wasn't.
I think when you were reading it, I was hearing a lot more negative out of it. But yeah, okay.
I think he's kind of like because I think he gave it like 3.5 stars.
Oh,
like,
really?
Yeah,
3.5 out of 5.
Yeah, I think.
No, all right, that's fair. Because I mean, because this movie isn't like groundbreaking, but it's like it's fun and it knows what it is.
Audacious, like just
okay.
Audacious. Not okay. That was my bad. I can't read my own handwriting apparently. Yeah, but he gave. Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, audacious is a lot better word.
That's really weird.
What?
The bookmark is gone.
Well,
but it's like a 404 error, and I read it the other day.
Well, that's weird.
But
Well, let's not worry about it.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
All right.
Let me get my throat ready.
That sounded so bad.
Yeah, get your throat ready.
Okay. So, over the top, over dramatized, and underrated are the three ways I would describe 2007's deconstructed action movie Shoot 'em Up. With no real explanation as to what, where, or why this movie throws you into ridiculous immediate action. A pregnant woman running from a man with a gun, a man getting killed with a carrot, our unlikely hero sliding on an oil spill across an entire warehouse picking off gunned men, a death count of 10 plus, and a baby is delivered in the first 5 minutes. By utilizing an overdramatic script of characters that take everything too seriously, Shoot 'em Up is successful in its delivery on how ridiculous most action movies are. I don't know many movies that really make an identity of their own and stick with it in such a distinct way like this one does. It clearly makes a fun commentary on how ridiculous action movies are while staying true to its over-the-top nature and making itself a serious action movie in tone as well. It leans into its own absurdity with perfect amount to deliver a satire that will stand the test of time for those who love action movies. All the while still managing to deliver a positive message to eat your vegetables.
Can I bring this up to kind of tie in with that vegetable thing?
Yeah, go for it.
This is from the beginning of Ebert's review. I don't need a lot of research to be confident in stating that never before have I seen a movie open with a hero delivering a baby during a gun battle, severing the umbilical cord with a gunshot,
Yes.
and then killing a villain by penetrating his brain with a raw carrot. Yes, a carrot will do that in this movie. It will do a lot of things.
Yes.
That's so funny. Oh, God. This movie is something else.
It is 100% something else. And it's got some fun a little bit of fun history to it. So the reason why it was put on the shelves for so long in 2000 is because of Columbine. Producers thought something with so much gun violence would be too soon. It was too soon.
Yeah. That was probably...
Yeah.
This movie would have been crucified.
Yeah, 100%, which is unfortunate. I mean, true, like very, very like sensitive time about like gun stuff and whatnot. But this movie also is so over the top that it's making fun of that type of violence, you know?
It's
like,
the Mortal Kombat of gun.
Yeah, I mean, it's like this is what I really think what the original Last Action Hero script, extremely violent, wanted to be.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is what I forget their names already. Zach Penn and whatever, the people that wrote Last Action Hero. I feel like this is like really what they were literally when he does that oil spill slide It's ridiculous. There's no reason out like it's so over the top. Like
Zach Penn and Adam left.
thank you. Like that is so bonkers for that to happen. And like his perfect shot, like he's fucking Jack Slater, only just more gruff, you know?
Yeah, I mean,
But he's not a cop. He's like, you know, he's down and out on his luck type guy.
this is like, I never, you know, I don't like to be overly negative in this, but this is just a comparison for me. This is a B-rated John Wick.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it too.
Because it's like,
I mean, maybe not B. I see what you mean by B-rated.
it's just not as good as it's super in the same field.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not it's just not made as well. But it's also like John Wick still feels like he's in danger.
Yeah.
Even though he's like the hero, and you know he's not gonna
There
necessarily.
there is still like suspense with John Wick.
Yeah, but this is like he's impervious to bullet. Like it's stormtrooper level aiming. No one can hit the target. And it's also like it'd be believable, and there's just certain situations where in the movie you're like, you would have been shot.
Yeah.
Like there are 8 guys in a line, and you're like 4 feet from them, and they're all like,
exactly. But it's
statistically you would have been shot.
but it's pulling in that like over the top idea of, you know, the action hero can't die, and like this is who our unlikely hero is. So now they're like, for the rules of the movie now say he must live or until at least the end, unless they decide to have him die.
Well, like the first time he got shot, I was like surprised.
Yeah.
And even then, it was he got shot, and they just shot the gun out of his hand. I was like, oh, someone finally.
Oh, then he actually gets really fucked up at the end. But
yeah. Like actually, it kind of all builds up.
But yeah, so a lot of things. So this movie was pretty much like cast like right off the bat. Like Michael Davis is like, these are the people that I want, and he wanted Clive Owen, he wanted Paul Giamatti, he wanted Monica Bellucci, and it's like boom, he got him. Like boom. Like Monica was like, she read the script and she's like, I really like this character. It's actually, she felt like it was actually like a prostitute that actually had a role, like a character, like there was depth to her.
Yeah,
you know. And then Paul Giamatti was just like excited to do something so different, and Clive Owen, I don't know. I think like Clive Owen's just like, yeah, sure, whatever.
Yeah. Clive Owen has some weird action roles,
but it also took Michael Davis a while to get like, he made, what was it? Where is it? He made an animatic for it because it wasn't going to get produced. He was trying to get it produced and he couldn't get it produced. So he sent it to studios with an animatic accompanied with 17,000 drawings of the action scenes. So he drew pretty much each action scene that was going to happen and like took a picture, like made it like a little like animation of it. Like a storyboard animation.
An animated storyboard.
Yeah. And like that's what he sent to like the production companies. And then finally in 2007, people were like, okay, yeah, this actually looks really good. And it started like, it went to this person, to this person, to this person, to this person, and boom, it was good. And it's very much inspired by a John Woo movie.
Yeah.
Hard Boiled,
which sounds awesome. Yeah. Homage to Leones's Man with No Name trilogy and Woo's Hard Boiled. Yes.
Yeah, because the spaghetti western, like, yeah. And so another big thing. So this is right here. Hertz's feud with Smith has been okay. Hertz is Giamatti's character, and Mr. Smith is just, that's what you get for Clive Owen's character, just Mr. Smith.
I like to call him Mr. Hero.
Mr. Hero, really? Okay, they call him Smith the entire time.
Giamatti doesn't.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Giamatti the entire movie calls him Mr. Hero coming in to save the day, and I just like it, like the villain.
Yeah,
calling him that because even Mr. Smith isn't his real name.
Yeah, we don't even know what his real name is.
Do we end up at the end? Mm-mm. I know they talk about his like family and his father, but I don't remember if they mentioned the name.
But yeah, so Hertz's feud with Smith has been compared to that of Bugs Bunny and Elmer Fudd in Looney Tunes, because Smith had, like Bugs, he's eating carrots out of nowhere.
He just always has a carrot.
He just always has a carrot in his pocket, and he's growing carrots in his place, and he's like, it's good for your eyesight.
Did you notice that like carrots are like Popeye to spinach for him?
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like that's carrots in a weird way are kind of like, I guess not in the same sense for Bugs Bunny, but
yeah, but like he'll like there's a specific scene he takes a bite out of a carrot and then suddenly you see his eyes like go wide and like dilate almost like it's a drug. Like
I never didn't pick that up.
Yeah, like it's the Popeye's got to eat his spinach to lift up the train.
So, and he's kept saying that carrots are good for your eyesight.
Yeah. So and then before every shoot scene
makes him fucking super.
Before every shoot scene, he takes a bite of a carrot and that's like his
that is hilarious.
Honing his eyes.
Yeah.
It's like his superpower.
Davis acknowledged that the Looney Tunes reference was deliberate.
Well, then he did that well.
Yeah.
Well, it's so on the nose. You wascally little rabbit.
Yeah, right.
Okay, that has to be. Paul Giamatti says that to him.
Yeah, I think also
and Clive Owen says, "What's up, Doc?"
Yeah, what's up, Doc? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's very much on the nose for it.
Chewing a carrot. What's up, Doc?
Makes a bite out of it.
But yeah, so this movie is just really interesting. It's looking at Davis's like previous, like where he went from like 8 days a week to 100 Girls, 100 Women to Monster Man to this is, even though that this is a script that he'd pretty much written in 2000, you can kind of see like, because I've seen 100 Girls and it kind of leans into this kind of like satirical sense, like what Shoot 'Em Up is. Mm-hmm. So like, even though like Shoot 'Em Up is very much like all action, these romantic comedies that he's written before, and even probably Monster Man's the same way, are over the top in their own right. Like they're over the top and over dramatized, but just like in their own tone and their own aesthetic of the world that he's created.
Yeah,
I think this guy is actually a really wonderful like writer and director, and I hope to see something again from him in the future, unless he's just like, I don't know, some type of thing in Hollywood just kind of chewed him up and spit him out.
Yeah,
you know?
And he's just done over. And
I mean, this could have been like, and like since this is kind of like the last like major feature he did, it's just like he could have put so much like time and effort to just get this movie made, and now he's like, I'm done. This is my magnum opus. I am finished. I bow out.
Yeah, that's true.
Because like literally nothing. I forgot to look at producing just to make sure. Nothing. But yeah. So, I mean, this movie, it starts out literally, like I said, like the first 5 minutes is just ridiculous. Like the first shot is just Clive Owen's face, Mr. Smith's face, just staring out into nothing.
He dips his carrot in coffee and eats it.
Oh, I thought that was soup.
No, it was a coffee, like that iconic New York coffee cup, the blue one.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
I thought it was. I don't know. It looked like clam chowder almost. But yeah, and he's like, eating a carrot, and yeah, a pregnant woman in a yellow dress is just like panicking, running, and he's just like watches her just like run past him. He's like, oh, that's interesting. And then a car comes up, pulling up, crashes. Guy comes out chasing after her, and then Clive Owen's just kind of staring, like he's kind of got this look of like, do I really want to do this?
I don't want to. Do I want to deal?
Do I want to deal with this? And then he sees the guy like pull out a gun, like very drunk, like stares at him, like the guy's like, "What are you looking at?" And like, oh.
Well, yeah, and he even like threatens like killer, and then the gun, and then he bloody hell, and he gets up and
tosses his coffee,
walks over there, and then pretty much it's nonstop shootout.
No,
for the next
it's literally
hour.
Pulls it. He turns the guy around, shoves the carrot in his mouth, says, "Don't forget, or no, eat your vegetables," and then slams the carrot through his head.
He killed 3 people with carrot in this movie.
Yeah, I know.
He used he used the carrot as a weapon. I need to make that very clear. To like, I don't know what's with these carrots, but he's able to knock them through people's skulls as like spikes. It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. Also, I just really quickly do want to say the soundtrack to this movie
was dope.
Fucking so good.
It's all like hard alternative rock shit. Like it's really like,
I really wanted to try to keep track of a death count, and
that's impossible.
yeah. Like, yeah,
Like there's a whole fight chase gun scene with Joker and the Thief that was fucking rad.
what was it? They had a budget for over 70,000 squibs.
Explain what a squib is in case people don't know.
Oh,
Because in Harry Potter, it's something very different.
what's a squib in Harry Potter?
A squib is, I hope I get it right. A squib is a person born from two magical people that is not magical. So both your parents were witches, or were magical folk, and then you were born.
Yeah,
and you're a Muggle, so you have no magic.
Like the janitor.
Yeah. What's his name?
I can't remember his name.
But yeah, he's
also,
a squib.
what's funny is like me rewatching Harry Potter. That's a role I would love to play. Is that janitor because of his like reaction? He says nothing. He has literally no dialogue.
No, he does. I mean, he only has a couple like all the students out of bed. He runs into the main house. Students out of bed. And the teacher's there, and all the students are there.
Yeah, we know. We summoned them here.
Yeah.
Huh.
All right. Like, yeah, I can see you in that kind of role.
Yeah, I would love.
He's funny.
I would have loved that. It would be so much fun.
I don't like it when he becomes like a bad guy, but it kind of makes sense.
He's just a follower.
Well, and it's also like, I mean, I feel like he's kind of ostracized from the wizard community because he isn't magical.
Yeah.
So he's kind of looked down on. So he's like, yeah, fuck him. Kind of like mentality.
Yeah. Okay. Back to shoot him up though. Oh yeah. Do you know what a squib is in the actual like film industry?
Yes.
Okay. Cool. So a squib, for those that don't know, it's like a little blood packet or like a pop packet that is used for like for like a gunshot wound, or even like
it's basically
any type of like big like if some type of explosion needs to like pop on somebody.
It's a tiny controlled explosion.
Yeah, that
you wear on your person.
Yeah.
And it's to make the impact of a bullet seem legit.
Because if you don't know
in the film industry, that's what it means. Because I think even a squib and gun terminology is just if the gun goes off and it doesn't for some reason have enough pressure behind it and it doesn't actually leave the barrel, that shot was a squib.
Oh, I didn't know that.
There's different meanings for it, but for film specifically, that's what it is. It's like
I grew up with a guy whose last name was Squib. So
there you go. But yeah, so it's a tiny little controlled explosion to replicate
a gunshot wound or some type of like, yeah. So they had a budget for 70,000. 70,000 squibs.
That's how many gunshots happen in this fucking thing.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy.
Like absurd amount of gunshot. Oh my god! Like it's the ridiculous. It's ridiculous over the top. It's like I don't think they actually have like an accurate like gunshot counter for like gun like clips and whatnot. But then like in the movie they'll be like, oh, but that's a 6-shooter, and I know you shot 6 of your shots. Like, well, you're holding an 8-shooter, and I know that you did your 8 shots. And it's like, are you really even keeping track?
I think it's
but it's like it's pointing out like. It's ridiculousness of this. Like this movie is just ridiculous in a good way.
Yeah, but I think that like is kind of like a writing thing to be like how good these guys are with guns.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? Like they're fucking professionals.
Yeah. So, it just kind of turns into like Clive Owen, like he gets this baby, he saves this. Well, he doesn't save the woman. The woman ends up getting shot, and unfortunately. And then the baby is then like birthed. Or he's surrounded. This is like what I was talking about. Oh no, yeah, sorry. She gives birth first.
Yeah, he's like surrounded. She gives birth. He shoots off the umbilical cord.
Yeah,
he gets her hidden away, and then like rips open
fucking
her
ponytail.
Yeah. And he like rips wants the baby to be quiet, so rip opens his shirt and like feed him so he's not crying.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, again, another shootout thing happens. He grabs her, is running up the stairs, and when they get to the stairs, he realizes that she got hit on their way, and then he has this, like, moral conundrum of, am I going to leave the baby here? Or am I going to take him? He's a good guy at heart, so he takes the baby, and...
I forget what...
It's like it's hard to talk about because it's all it is a bunch of shoot scenes. There's not really a whole lot.
Well, I'm trying to get to the pinpoints of like the story. So like he realizes that the baby needs to be fed, and
he happens to know a milkmaid prostitute.
Yeah, who is played by Monica Bellucci.
What's her name? Wait, what's her name? Oh, I wrote it down.
Donna. Yes.
I do something I really appreciate in movies is, and I feel like I'm like thinking of like Sofia Vergara from like Modern Family, or someone whose second language is English. And I really enjoy moments where they're like cussing somebody out, just going on a tangent
in their language,
and their first language, just going off on somebody, and the other person's like, I know you're pissed, but I don't understand anything you're saying. Yep. And there's a couple moments like that with Clive Owen where she's just fucking laying into him in Italian, and he's just didn't catch that, but okay,
like, yeah, you're angry. You want a carrot?
Yeah, you want a carrot? But I always really appreciate like those moments, like Sofia Vergara going off on Jay.
Yeah,
he's like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I just like those moments.
I forget what exactly. But what's really nice, like this whole like cat and mouse type of like thing, is that they do a really good job of having Paul Giamatti's character. He's like, they talk about it. He brings it up a decent amount of times in the movie. Is like he's really good at following people, figuring people out, greeting people.
Well, yeah, and then in dialogue too, he was a FBI profiler before he became this
behavioral unit profiler or something. Yeah,
behavioral analysis.
Yeah, analytical. Yeah, he was part of the BAU.
yeah. So he's really good at reading people, and that's like his superpowers. He kind of knows where people are going to be and what they're going to do, and
it's like he can look at a room, look at a situation, and figure it out like that. So like there's a really gross scene with like the dead lady who gave birth, and he like reaches across and gropes the dead boob, but then he kind of like
he was a really good bad guy.
Yeah, he was.
I wish he was a little bit better. A little bit more, like I don't know. I felt like he was kind of like restraining himself a little bit. I wish he kind of really went in there.
I felt like he was pretty cartoonish.
I don't know. There's something
in his own way.
Well, sorry, I didn't mean to.
Yeah. He realizes with this with her breast out exposed. He's like, oh, this child needs to be fed.
Like he smells after groping her. He smells breast milk on his hand, and then that's when he like figures out. Oh, and then I love it in these kind of movies too. The boss guy goes, get me a list of blank. And it's always uber specific random shit. And I'm always thinking about like the goons being like, how the fuck are we going to... Because he says, find me every milkmaid, hooker, and...
Oh, yeah.
What is it called? Midwife in the city right now. And I'm always kind of like, how the fuck are they going to... Google? Like, what's like... Is there just a list somewhere of these uber specific things?
Craigslist, man. Come on.
I don't know. I don't think...
Reddit.
Actually, real talk.
Yeah, right.
Reddit, like.
So I mean, first, originally Donna, right? That's her name.
Donna.
She refuses to help out Clive Owen's character, her Mr. Smith, with the baby, and also he's carrying this baby around just like in like a paper bag with like
packing peanuts,
and shit. Just fucking ridiculous. So but like Paul Giamatti's character Hertz, he finds her, and like I don't know, it's like there's something with like I forget how, does he just like go to her first? I forget exactly why he decided her. Like I guess his guys just like interviewed all the, like I don't know, that
it's one of the take it.
Yeah, just take it as
it is. But I mean, that was another like good evil scene with Paul Giamatti, and he's like interrogating her, and she's being very forthcoming. Like I told him to fuck off, and he's not really. And she
really doesn't know much about him.
Yeah, like he's a regular of mine for years. Always goes by Mr. Smith. I know that's not his name. Don't know anything about him, but Giamatti doesn't believe it, and he starts shooting off his gun and pressing it up against her leg because if you shoot a gun, the barrel's hot. So he's like burning her on the leg, and he's like, then he shoots it 2 more times. And then he starts getting closer and closer to her private area. And it's just a really creepy, evil scene. Because he's even like, the more times I shoot it, the hotter it gets. And the more it hurts, the closer I get.
And that's when, what's up, Doc?
Yeah, you hear the bite of a carrot.
And the click of a gun.
Yeah, and so like Mr. Smith has kind of like set up a trap. Like he knew that he knew that he knew that he knew that he knew. That he knew that she didn't know that he knew.
You are one wascally rabbit, aren't you, Mr.
Dude, his voice is so good. He has like this growl to him.
Yeah.
He's so good. Ooh, wascally. Like I want to see him as villains more.
Yeah.
But not like
Not like Rhino.
not like Rhino, not like a "Come here, Spider-Man," you know, like I want him to be just a guy. Like another mobster kind of guy.
Was that one that was an interesting interpretation of Rhino, and two, he was acting wise a great choice in my opinion.
You just didn't really get to see him.
Yeah, well,
Really?
For Rhino,
They were leading up to the Sinister Six, right?
they were, yeah. But like the whole thing of like Rhino having more of like a mech armor thing was really just interesting.
Well, it's like for that world they built, you kind of have to.
Yeah.
Especially because the mutants aren't really
Yeah.
in yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
In the cinematic world.
All right, let's stop talking about Spider-Man. Let's. So I mean, this movie it kind of keeps.
Because he's a mutant, right?
I don't think he is. No.
No, I thought Rhino was a mutant.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking of Juggernaut.
Yes, you are.
Hmm.
I mean, they're very similar.
Yeah, I think that's a fair mix-up in your head. I'm
trying to remember. Oh, he tried to drop the baby off at the playground before.
I think
Did
he get rejected from her, then take the kid to the playground?
No, I think he did the playground first.
And then went to her?
Yeah. Because he's like trying to leave the baby at the playground. Yeah, he's trying to leave the baby at the playground. And then.
Oh my God. Who left a baby here? Pow!
She gets shot, yeah.
I was like, that was terrible. So yeah, he goes and he finds a park. He's like, I'll leave the baby here because there's parents around. Someone will find the baby and take care of it.
Yeah.
Lo and behold, he's being stalked this whole time by Paul Giamatti, who's gonna snipe him. And this woman walks up and, oh my God, who left a baby here? And then she was pretty far. I don't know how he shot her trying to shoot Owen.
No, he was trying to shoot the baby.
Oh, so he's just a bad shot altogether, I mean, guess.
He's not good with a sniper.
Okay. Yeah, he doesn't know the wind and all.
Yeah. Because even like he was like, a little off. Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's another thing. He just didn't care. He had so little interest in human life.
Yeah.
It was fucking terrifying.
And this is another one that, like, okay, I'm trying to, like, all of the ridiculous
That's what we should do, is the stunts.
Yeah.
So the baby's on like one of those carousel things. Like the kids want, not like a merry-go-round, but like a carousel, right? That's what you would call it?
Yeah,
it's
I
a
guess.
big plate with rails and you run on it and you spin.
Yeah, I actually don't know what those are called, but I used to play on that thing all the time when I was a kid.
Yeah, and then you like can just spin around. So he
I think it's just a merry-go-round, yeah.
No, but like a merry-go-round isn't like...
A carousel is the thing with the horses.
A carousel is the thing with the horses.
Yeah, it's a merry-go-round is that thing.
Okay. But he starts like shooting at the railings to make it go clockwise, and then he starts running like counterclockwise.
Yeah.
Still shooting it to keep it spinning to keep the baby moving, so Paul Giamatti can't snipe it.
Yeah.
Which is a sentence I never thought I'd say. Or what's this? Hurts?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Just put that together.
Oh, you just got that?
It hurts, and it just hurts people. And then he just dives and like grabs the kid. Perfect. It was all these like perfect moments of chaos that he was able to like create. And then he takes off with the baby.
The way that he grabs the baby, he's like, this baby.
This poor baby, man. Those things get knocked around.
Yeah. Newborns wouldn't last this long with the aggressiveness.
Newborns are pretty resilient. They're pretty rubbery. They can bounce back from some shit.
I don't know what's up with the boobs in this one, but yeah. The way how aggressive he grabs the baby off of that.
Newborns are pretty rubbery. Yeah. That was the weirdest sentence ever.
Okay, so yeah, that's another like crazy over the top action sequence. So following Smith and Hertz face off in the brothel. Is this when he does the rope going down, or no? That's in another.
That's after he rescues her.
So I mean, it's like he does end up shooting Hertz in that scene, and he thinks that Hertz is dead.
So they go to.
But Hertz is Deus. Here's the Deus Machina, the bulletproof vest. Mm-hmm. It saved him. We didn't know that. We didn't expect that to be there. There was no scene seeing him.
Oh yeah.
Putting it on or anything. It's just like, oh no, he's just wearing one.
And then they go to like Clive Owen's safe house where the lock mechanism is like a rat.
That's right. That's
thing.
where that whole that's the rope. Him jumping out with the rope.
So he's like in this squatting in this warehouse that he's like set up, and then they introduce the pulley system, and that's for that's for later.
Yeah,
That would be one too, right?
that's This movie kind of is filled with maybe a lot of Deus Ex Machina.
Well, yeah, because it shows that he makes all these pulley systems to control
but you see,
his
that's
warehouse.
that's a thing that's set up that doesn't make it a Deus Ex Machina because it's set up. It's established. There was no establishment of the bulletproof vest.
I really just don't understand this concept.
It's okay.
We don't have to do it again.
When you have something that's set up and established. Okay.
We'll talk about it later. Off air. But yeah, so then there's this like whole crazy. Giamatti has gotten his 50 guys to come to his warehouse, and you kill him, I'm gonna do a lot worse than take my money back if you fail me, bad guy moment. So there's just this another huge shootout in this warehouse of, guns he kills a dude and his shotgun goes up in the air and he catches it and boom, he kills that guy, and then it oozes and he catches that and and then he runs to the staircase, jumps on the rope, and he's going down just holding the baby the entire time. Yep. It's ridiculous. And then what I like, he lands like the rope gets shot, so it breaks, and then he lands on a body that like protects him and the baby, and he like takes off running, and then Paul Giamatti goes, wow, is this guy like, do we really suck this bad, or is this guy really that fucking good? Yeah. And it was so happy that like it was acknowledged. It would have really pissed me off. It was like no one said anything about like how is this guy doing this stuff?
It's even like the way that his Giamatti's two goons are portrayed is very much like they're just, oh, what's going on? Like they're like talking about how good Paul Giamatti is like in front of him. They're like, no, yeah, he's like and he's like, no, I'm like this, you fucking idiots. Mm-hmm. And like they even kind of have like a dopey air to them as well, you know. All right, so then what's next? Then they go and like they start figuring out where the baby.
So real quick too, at this point in the film, you don't know anything.
Yeah.
About anything.
You don't know why they're coming after this baby.
There's just these grown men
trying to kill a
violently
baby.
trying to murder a newborn.
Yeah.
Like that's all you know. You don't know why. You don't know what's going on.
But
and then
you start to get it in, it starts to
and then
unfold.
they kind of loosely really like put a plot in the kind of towards the end. They kind of go, and we need something. There we go.
Yeah. Which I mean, but I feel like it was all leading to it as well.
Yeah.
Like there's got to be a reason. It's like you got to like have plot A, like part A kind of like complete before you get to part B to get to part C.
So they figure out while they're before this whole at the safe house that the baby is soothed by heavy metal music. Mm-hmm. And they're like, how is that? So Clive Owen comes up with a theory that the mother must have lived near or above a heavy metal rock club.
Yeah.
And heard it through the womb, so it now makes it soothing. So he finds a club near where he first met the mother, and Donna's all, this is a very far-fetched theory.
Yeah.
Where'd you come up with this? And then Clive Owen goes, oh yeah? Well, how would you explain all these baby diaper boxes? And there's this like 15 a mountain of Huggies, Pampers boxes outside this club. I was just like, okay. Like this movie, you really just gotta take it. You just gotta go, okay, like that. We always talk. We gotta come up with a better phrase for it, but this is the thing.
Suspend your disbelief.
Yeah, but like I want to find like a fun. Choked on my spit. I want to find.
We're gonna call it choking on your spit.
You gotta just take choking on your spit. No,
you just gotta choke on your spit and take it. All right.
That actually might work. But yeah, so they go to this club. They talk to the club owner, and long story short, real business type. Rented it out, and I've never seen him. I just assume he always takes the back way in. And you go up, and they go into the apartment, and there's just bodies everywhere. Mm-hmm. Everyone's like been murdered, but it's like weird. It's like this facility.
Yeah, it's like a weird baby making facility.
Yeah, it's like a maternity baby making facility.
It's like a bunch of women are just getting like inseminated. Impregnated, I guess, is the better way to put it. Just breeded with.
And then he figures that they're doing this for like a bone marrow transplant thing for somebody, obviously someone very important. Yada.
Actually, the way that he like deducts that really fast, I was like, oh, that's actually kind of impressive. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. But it's just kind of like, so like, I'm just trying to get like the ball going. So we have this. So now we know why the babies are being bred, but we don't know why they're being murdered.
Yes. And I think he sees the Hammerson.
Then they.
Or no, that's after they have the sex gunfight.
That was pretty awesome.
It's awesome as hell, yeah.
Yeah, so they end up getting to like another like apartment, and they end up hooking up. Obviously, unnecessary sex scene, and the only reason it didn't piss me off is like mid-coitus, SWAT guys come in and.
It's to make the sex scene ridiculous.
But I like too that.
At least there was no nudity in it as well.
Oh yeah, but what I thought was fucking hilarious about it is like, so they like bust in the windows, and so like Clive Owen starts rolling around, grabbing his gun, shooting everybody. She still gets to climax, which I think is fucking hilarious because she's like he's still like inside her, killing these people, and like pinning her against the wall and stuff, and she's just still like, oh yeah, like, and at the end it's like, and then he goes, how's that for blowing your load or some terrible fucking one-liner? It's so stupid, but I was like, I rewound the scene. I was like, this is so fucking funny.
It's ridiculously over the top.
It's so funny. It was really funny.
It's like no other movie could really do it as well as it did it in this movie.
Yeah, and so, but then this is the next plot point is that he picks up this gun, and it's a gun that's not going to be out for 6 months from a Hammerfell, the gun company.
Yeah. Which
then leads us to Paul Giamatti's bad guy boss.
Yep. And you find out Paul Giamatti is actually just more of a guy for hire.
Yeah, like he's a mercenary. Give him enough money.
Well, he's like
whatever.
an assassin type.
Yeah,
I would say higher than a mercenary.
Yeah, but he's a gun for hire.
Yeah. Well, really quick. This is also when you find out that the reason that Donna's started getting a connection with the baby, and she's like, "You never thought what this would do to me," type thing. Like, did you ever wonder why I can still produce milk or whatever?
Yeah.
Like, you never asked me about my kid, like what happened to it, and then that's what leads to them. Like, he actually becomes, sympathetic and actually like, oh, he's got feelings.
Yeah.
But all right, I think we can really just kind of fast forward.
Yeah. Then again, another shootout scene in the warehouse.
I think like the airplane is really the next big thing. Oh no, he figures out that it's a senator that's running for president.
Yeah.
That the babies are being bred for.
And the reason that they want to kill the babies is to kill the senator, because the senator is doing hardcore gun legislation reforms.
Yeah.
So if he does that, then this company's going to lose a lot of money. So you need to kill the senator. It's too hard to kill the senator himself because he's running for president. So he's sick. Let's just make it so he doesn't get his cure. Figure all that out, and then we're on a plane. Clive Owen Mr. Smith is talking to the senator, and through his powers of observation, he realizes we have to go into what he sees. You can watch it if you want.
Yeah.
Realizes that he's in bed with the.
He's been bought. He's been
bought out.
He's sold out to the gun company.
And so the Clive Owen takes him hostage, gets him down into the bottom of the plane.
He's like, I'm going to assassinate you because then it'll actually.
I was blown away. He straight up just shot him in the head.
Yeah.
I didn't think. I thought he was going to die by accident, like the mother did. Like a shootout would happen, he would get hit.
He's like, no,
straight up. He's like, I'm going to make you a martyr for your cause because you promised something and now you're backing out of it. Fuck you.
I love it.
Ties him up and shoots him in the head. I was like, whoa.
It's like, oh, he's like you, because you feel like Clive Owen's character is like just like a hero. Like Mr. Smith's he's like the unsuspecting hero the entire time. This makes him like straight up like anti-hero status.
Yeah.
Like I will actually kill somebody for a greater cause.
Yeah.
Like, whoa.
And then there's after that there is a whole skydiving shootout scene.
And this is really out of all of the special effects and everything that's happened in this movie,
it's terrible.
It's one of the worst parts of the movie. It's like you can clearly tell how green screened it was.
It's for even how
it's almost bad Superman 4. Like
yeah. I mean, it's also like it
also fits for the style for the movie.
I was gonna say no. This kind of shit is like a crank scene. This is even over the top for this movie.
I feel like it's been built like it's because you got to think about it, it's like every gun scene needs to top the next one, So after everything they've done, you're on an airplane. What else is there to do
besides a skydiving scene? But yeah, so there's this whole shootout scene with everybody.
It's just like the thing. I think it's fun. I thought it was fun, especially like when he lands and just like all of the dead bodies on the ground.
Yeah, there's like 50 guys.
It's just you could tell. It's like, unfortunately, this movie didn't have like a huge, like it didn't have a big enough Hollywood type budget to really get it to look as good as it could have been. For 2007, it could have looked better.
Yeah.
But
then Clive Owen's been shot at this point. He ends up getting kidnapped by the Hammerfeld guy and Paul Giamatti, Hurt's character. And then there's this whole pretty brutal torture scene
where you find out about Mr. Smith's past.
Yeah, that he was an ex-military Black Ops kind of operative whose wife and son got murdered
on his own fault.
He sold the guy the guns, so he has like this guilt-ridden, troubled man with troubled past thing.
Tragic hero backstory.
And then Paul Giamatti starts breaking all of his fingers.
Yeah, that's actually
pretty rough.
Very
to watch.
brutal.
So he starts breaking all his fingers, trying to figure out what the kid is, and then finally is like, fuck it, and pulls up a scalpel and is going to take out his eyes. And then fucking like Clive Owen like headbutts him, but makes sure to get the scalpel in his like skin in his head. And then it uses this is a very John Wick shit right here.
Yeah.
The creative kill.
Yeah.
And then takes his hand and makes sure to get the scalpel through it and then starts stabbing all the bad guys.
Yeah.
With it. It's just fucking ridiculous. And then there's a cool standoff between
Giamatti and Hurts and Smith.
Yeah. Smith ends up winning,
which
obviously.
also what's really is like throughout this entire movie there's been like phone calls from Hurts' wife where he's like, "Hi sweetie, yes, I'll be there, I promise I'll be there for the birthday party,
what's better than
what's better than which one's better, a gun or a wife? A gun, because you can put a silencer on a gun." Like stupid shit like that.
Yeah. But no, and then he finally dies. And actually, I think it was like when he's dying, he's getting that phone call. He's like, "Oh, she's leaving me."
Yeah. Well, and how he kills him too. So yeah, his fingers are all like fucked up, so he can't pull a trigger. He ends up by like a fireplace, and he has
so ridiculous.
In between all of his fingers, he has bullets, and he just puts his hand in the fire. And it shoots the bullets and kills Giamatti. It's just fucking ridiculous.
Over the top. It's so great.
And then the end is he meets back up with Donna and the baby, and now they're going to be a happy family. That's basically how the movie ends.
Well, it ends with more action because apparently,
but it's not. That's not like
it's just amusing. Just like I just watched him shooting all of those junkies was hilarious.
Yeah. So my hot take on this movie that I brought up yesterday. Once I had this thought, I couldn't unthink it. If you remade this movie, make the main character Deadpool, and then it's perfect. This is a Deadpool movie, but not Deadpool. And I was like, actually, if you just threw Deadpool in here, then it would weirdly all make sense. Like,
I mean, this movie, it's like, I mean, that's hilarious because because Deadpool in itself is already a deconstruction of comics.
Yeah, I know. But I'm just saying that just how the level of ridiculousness and then being normal people, it makes it. But if you were
they're not normal people.
No, but they're not a mutant. There's nothing. There's no.
Oh, I see what you mean by normal people.
Yeah. What I'm saying is like, but if you threw a Deadpool-like character, fucking Moon Knight, Deadpool, well, main Deadpool because he uses guns. But I don't know. I was like, you could actually copy and paste all of this and make it into a Deadpool movie, and it would be.
I mean, it pretty much is a Deadpool movie.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know, but like, I mean, I see what you're saying. That's fun. That's fun to think about. I really think like this movie is underappreciated. I really think it is. It is very clever for what it is and what it did and what it created. Like I said, this is what Last Action Hero wanted to be. Yeah,
I mean, I didn't particularly care for it that much. There were some of the shoot scenes I really liked, but then I had a problem with just how unbelievable it was. Like I like a comparison to John Wick. It's like you can kind of see those happening in certain moments.
When did John Wick come out? When was the first John Wick?
13.
Okay, because this is 2011, or 2007. So, but that's kind of like the thing of this movie. That's what I think the charm is, and this is just
14 for the first
just
one.
For me, I guess, is that this movie is so over the top. It's it's just unbelievable, but it's meant to be unbelievable.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I was
because
gonna
action
say.
movies are ridiculously unbelievable and short-sighted and narrow, So this movie leaned into all of those tropes, but somehow still added a little bit more of an extra thought.
Totally, and I totally agree with you on all that. It just didn't really keep me that interested.
I mean,
personally,
except for the action sequences kept you interested.
A couple of them. Yeah. Some of them I just thought I was like that whole.
I was trying to remember if there was any really creative deaths in Last Action Hero when he electrocutes the guy and shoots the gun.
I think the creative deaths are the end one.
Yeah.
And then the couple he did with the carrot. I mean, the whole
the carrot. Yeah, the carrot
putting the carrot in the Uzi and throwing it to cause a distraction.
I like that.
Was cool.
Yeah.
Like shit like that. I enjoyed.
With the scalpel through the hand was pretty creative.
I liked that whole booby trap warehouse scene that we didn't really talk about.
Oh, yeah.
There's a scene where he knows he's going to be outnumbered and there's these hallways and crates and stuff.
Yeah, this is towards the end.
Yeah, and he sets up like a pulley system like he did, but it's like all connected to guns. So he's like running down the hall and he pulls the string and 2 shotguns go off behind him. Like that was cool. I mean, but what we didn't also say is we watched this. Jacob owns this on DVD. There was trailers and there was previews in the beginning.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
which I always forget about.
I meant to
bring it up earlier, but like
which ones were they?
Like I wrote previews. Yay! First one was Be Kind, Rewind.
That's right. Yes.
Which I would love to do.
Which I actually don't think I've actually seen all the way through.
Oh, you would love that.
Oh
movie.
Yeah, no, I know the entire premise of it.
Yeah. Harold and Kumar 2.
Oh yeah, Guantanamo Bay.
The number 23. Yeah. Which we should add to the list.
Yeah, we should add. Yeah.
I think we should do number 23 and Secret Window.
Those would be 2 good ones.
That'd be a good combo. Yeah. Rush Hour 3. Mr. Woodcock, which was pretty funny.
Oh yeah.
The Invasion, which I forgot about. Like the Body Snatcher remake.
Yeah.
That was terrifying. I remember that being creepy as fuck.
Seen it.
The Brave one with Jodie Foster, another gun control kind of like spiral thing, and the Hard Easy, which I didn't know it was, and MI5, which was like it looked like a British TV show. But I was like, this is so fun to go down this memory lane. I'm like, holy shit, Be Kind, Rewind. I completely forgot about that. It's
one thing I really miss about like DVDs or even like VHS is like the previews before. Because it really puts a timestamp on what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
When you're like watching it through Netflix, you're like, oh yeah, this is a 2007 movie. But then when you like see the previews, that's like, oh man, this was a 2007 movie.
Well, yeah, and it's even when we do our top 5, it's like Transformers came out in 2007. I didn't realize it was that old. Like that franchise started in 2007. Like, and they're still going strong. Like, what the fuck?
I wouldn't say strong. I mean,
they're making them.
Yeah, it's like going.
They're making them.
But yeah.
So I really enjoyed the previews. There was a couple of the.
I watched some of the special features. I watched the animatronic.
Oh, you did.
Animaniac. And we're Animaniacs.
So I really enjoyed that. And I enjoyed the end. I enjoyed the beginning, and then it kind of got in the middle, and then the end. I really like the last
action
20 minutes where you get all the backstory and.
So everything post the airplane.
Yeah, post the airplane, and then. Because that was just because that was the first moment of tension. Because
it was like Die Hard 2.
That was the first moment of tension where you're actually Mr. Hero may not make it through this. Shit, we actually might be screwed.
No, they did. Yeah, they actually. It's not tense or suspense. What John Wick really is, but there is that moment you're like, oh, he's not invulnerable to everything.
Yeah, and I think that's we've talked about too. If you don't have that moment, any of those kind of moments in a movie
of tension and whatnot,
I have a really hard time caring about it. You know,
because tension is what causes enjoyable things to watch. I guess is the best way to put it.
Yeah, and it's and we really need to stop comparing it. But John Wick 2, there are moments he gets fucked up.
Yeah.
Multiple times. You're like,
I think it's kind of fair to compare this with John Wick since this is actually before John Wick.
Maybe without this, John Wick wouldn't have happened.
No, John Wick would have totally happened.
Chapter 4 coming out soon.
Yeah.
And Matrix 4, which I'm really confused about. I saw someone talking a meme about what if Neo had been living in a John Wick simulation this whole time, and then he remembers that he's Neo, and combining the 2 universes, they trapped him in a simulation, and suddenly John Wick realizes that. I was like, that'd be kind of cool. Combine the 2 universes.
I really don't like that.
Why?
But it makes it. But it's also.
It makes sense. It's like almost perfect.
I know. That's why I don't like it.
That'd be fucking cool.
That person, stoned motherfucker. What if, like,
what if I'm the one?
All right, what kind of Mogwai do you give this?
Wet gizmo.
You give it a wet gizmo?
Yeah. We're still trying to figure that out. Coming soon, the Mogwai Awards. We should probably figure out the rating system.
Yeah, I mean,
what would you give it? I would give it a gremlin.
A gremlin?
Yeah. No, wait.
A gremlin's bad.
I thought it was bad. No, because a wet Mogwai, not a wet gizmo.
Yeah,
wet Mogwai.
I'm like on a Mogwai, like Mogwai, wet Mogwai. You know.
Yeah, I will get a wet Mogwai. We need to start writing these down, or.
Well, okay. What's worse? Is it like if a Mogwai is wet, you get more Mogwais? You know. But if a Mogwai eats after midnight, it's turning into a gremlin.
Right. Okay. So yes, and then it's not a gizmo because gizmo means good. Yeah. Okay. So this is a wet Mogwai.
Yeah, and I'm like a wet Mogwai. So yeah,
stamp.
Yeah. Cool. We agree.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. By the way, we have a fun thing the next couple weeks called the Mogwai Awards.
It's going to be the end of our first year, and what we're going to start doing is at the end of each season, I guess, each year, we're going to go through all the movies we reviewed, and we're going to do the Mogwai Awards.
And we'll also kind of give more of an explanation of why we're doing Mogwai as our rating system.
It was kind of started as a joke, and then it stuck, and we have fun with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're going to be giving out the Gizmo and Spike Awards and figuring out which ones were our favorites and our least favorites, and just kind of rehash what we've done over the year. So if you want to check that out, that's going to be coming in October. Oh. Yeah, no.
It'll be released October 1st. Or no, it'll be released October 1st because our season 2 is technically going to be October 8th release.
Okay. So yeah, we're going to be doing the Mogwai Awards, and then we're going to get into spooky season.
Well, I mean, we got one. Next week we're doing a Baby Driver.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I forgot we set that up. Yes. So next week we're going to be doing Baby Driver, and then we will be doing the Mogwai Awards, and then we're going to start the spooky season.
Yeah. And also Baby Driver, also very much of like the shoot 'em up sense leans into it's like it's deconstruction of like its type of movie.
And I've never seen it.
Neither have I. I just know about it.
So it's always fun when we do something completely new.
Yeah. It's also a newer movie too. Newish.
Yeah. Newish-ish.
Within the last 5 years.
So yeah, like, subscribe, come join us again. As we lean more into our movie reviews.
Yeah, we're going to be doing just probably 100% more movies. Like 99% more movies. All the movies all the time.
So like, subscribe, follow, leave a comment, and we'll talk to you next week.
Yeah. Have a good one.
This is Tommy.
This is Jacob.
This is Tommy and Jacob's Mixtape.